Today I'm recovering from a wisdom teeth procedure, meaning I'm tripping on acid right now, meaning we're gonna be going through and revisiting all of the Alvin and the Chipmunk movies. This is gonna be fun. So we're gonna start where it all began, or at least where I care to begin, and that is the live-action Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. So there aren't rules, but here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna be watching all 4 of the movies, and in between I'll come here and just give a real brief what I thought of it, what you should think about it, because whatever I tell you is how you think, remember? And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna watch the next one and so forth, and I gotta keep it short, because once again, there are 4 of these movies. I'm surprised they made 2, but okay, let's sit down and let's see. Alright, okay, just finished the first Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. Honestly, a little bit better than I remember. The CG was, it wasn't very pretty, but as far as family-friendly movies go, pretty good. It's no Lego Batman movie or anywhere near Teen Titans Go to the Movies, but it's a movie I only cringed like 70% of it. So, I mean, there was a good 30% when I was just, like, tolerating it. It was enjoyable. I mean, but come on, we're talking about a movie where all your 3 main characters have voices that make you want to tear your ears off, mix them in a blender, and then, like, chuck them out in the trash can or something. Like, I don't know, whenever they sang, I don't know what I felt, but it was nothing that God intended humans to feel. Now, can we talk about Ian Hawke, though? Sheesh, Ian Hawke. More like Ian Hot. This guy is mean. Dude, the Chipmunks, they got raspy throats, right? And he said he wanted them to sing anyways. And whenever they said they couldn't, he said, just mouth the lyrics. I mean, if that's proof that you're evil, wow, this man, he's one bad hombre. Oh boy. But my favorite part of the movie was whenever Dave Seville, he says something along the lines of,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's too much for Mr. Incredible!
Alright, 3 more to go. Oh yeah, one last thing I would like to say. The message behind the story is actually much deeper if you look into it. If I can put on my thinking cap for one little moment. It is about betrayal. Because you see, the Chipmunks, they arrive, and then at first they feel a little bit out of place because they're in the human world and Dave is to take them in. But the big selling part is whenever Ian comes in. And Ian, he's so mean, I hate him. He betrays Dave, who was his friend back when they were kids. And so what happens is he betrays him and he lies and he says all these mean and hurtful things to the Chipmunks. And so then the Chipmunks, they betray Dave because of Ian, that bastard. And so then what happens is then Ian then betrays the Chipmunks because the Chipmunks are good kids. The Chipmunks are pure and innocent, and Ian is a rotten apple. All right, on to the Squeakquel. Why am I doing this? Oh my gosh. Words. What can I say? Alvin and the Chipmunks 2 slaps hard. Oh man, I'm like on a movie detox right now. I'm on, like, how do you top that? How do you top that movie? How did they make a 3rd one? How do you get any better than this? Oh my goodness, it's okay. So basically, what happens is, so the Chipmunks are apparently they're kids. I don't know, you know, the age works the same way for animals as it does for humans, but they are sent to school. That's the plot. That's the whole plot right there. Like, Alvin becomes a popular one. I mean, that basically sums the whole movie up right there. There are girl chipmunks, a little bit of feminism, liberal agenda at work. Hello. But Ian Hawke returns, so I had to, like, close my eyes during the scenes he was in the movie because he's so evil and he's going to hell. But what happens is, so Alvin, like, nearly kills their owner guy, and so they are sent to school. And so while at school, he ditches the brothers and he becomes like part of the cool kids because he can catch a ball. So he caught one dodgeball. And all of a sudden he was like an all-star football player. They put him in the game and he won for them. All those movies that you watch once, like, that's wholesome, and you throw away the next day. This is literally that to a T. Like, they win the football game by 1 point because Alvin caught the ball. And then it's like everything works just perfectly, and man, it is beautiful. It's a masterpiece. This is like a movie that defined a generation right here. And then like they have Zachary Levi for no reason. And he's their caretaker, and every single minute of the film he's in, he reminds you he's a gamer. I almost forgot he was a gamer one time, and then he said, oh, I gotta go play video games. And I was like, I almost forgot this guy plays video games. That's why he's wearing a daggum shirt that says eat, sleep, play with the video game controller on it, and he's wearing his headset. Okay, he's a gamer. I nearly forgot. There were a grand total of 3 parts I laughed at. The first, I can't remember. The second was like the one part where it was inferred that like the fat one, Theodore, was going through depression or something. Like, okay, like, chipmunk at the school, like, that's not funny, but... And then the third thing that made me laugh was at the very end, and they're like on a helicopter or something, and then they throw their little helmets or whatever they're wearing, and it hits Ian, and it's like a shockwave, and Ian falls to the ground and drops the controller. I guess it was like a remote controlled thing, and then they catch it, and they're like, let's get out of here, and they fly out of there, but it like made like a sonic boom from them throwing their helmets, and it was like this big like, whoa moment. It was awesome. That's what it was. The first thing that made me laugh was actually the last scene of the movie. I know what they're doing. They like to end all the movies with the Dave guy going, Alvin, and then you're like, hey, that's like what he does. That's how he says it. And so then you laugh, but you're not really laughing. And you're like, oh, that's a good note to end on. So that's what this movie does, but it does it so beautifully. He's like, good night, chipmunks, and turns off the lights. They all like, oh, I'm tired. But then Alvin, the little troublemaker, he gets up and he turns the lights back on. And he's having like this war of flicking the light on, and then Dave is turning it off. And then Dave comes at him, but he's like still in his cast. So he trips on his skateboard. Now, why is the skateboard in the bedroom? Beyond me, I don't know. And then he trips, and it's inferred that, he gets injured again. And then he's like, you know what? I'm actually pretty tired. And turns off the lights. And that was, the best part of the movie when it ended. Next up, we have Wrecked. Oh, I'm sorry. Chipwrecked. I see what they did there, because they're chipmunks. Oh, man, these guys in marketing are hilarious. So there's a little bit of lore to this one, because I've actually seen this one already with a functioning brain. So my school decided it'd be a good idea to put it on way back when, and nobody liked it except me because I'd never seen it before. I'm like, hey, they're singing, the song I listened to on the radio, and I thought that was the coolest thing at the time. Also, fun fact, I don't know about this one, but I do know Anna Faris was the voice of the nerd girl chipmunk in the second movie. Such an obscure role, but okay. Anyways, this one, it's fine. My entire basis of judging these movies is not on a scale of relativity to any movie. This is judging one in contrast to another, because these are all dumb, stupid movies. That's why I'm watching it. So whenever I tell you that this one is that means compared to the first two, it's The first one so far is obviously the best. The second one is I don't even want to say it's the worst. But this third one switches it up a little bit. It doesn't really have so much of a singing narrative. They just get stranded on an island. That's really all there is to it. I was really disappointed. I thought I was going to see some major character development plot points pay off. But I don't know, man. It was a little bit of let down. I don't know what you're expecting watching these movies. I will have to say, I cringed the least watching this one, possibly, but that's not necessarily a compliment either, because you're still cringing more times then you're getting something out of it. I don't know. There's not much to say about it. This is one of those, there's just not much to say about it. Wait. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Yeah, okay. There's no fifth one. This is the last one. The Road Chip. That is the very, very weird choice of a name. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea. This was a terrible idea. I mean, it wasn't the worst movie in the world. It actually was much better than I was expecting. I'll have to say, a good last note to go out on. Took the girls out of the equation. Instantly makes it a classic, a good movie. Quentin Tarantino did not make a cameo. What can I say? I didn't like it. For real, though, they were trying. That's the best I can say about it. They were trying, and they didn't follow any of the formulaic, you know, like how the second one was just like the first. That's the best I could say about this movie. I cannot recommend trying to watch all 4 of them, let alone, I'd have to say 2 of these movies. Just watch the first one and just be happy. Blissful Ignorance. I'm gonna end it here because I need to rest.
Look like cash in the old